Hello ipXchangers, it's your host Sandro here, and today we're in Cambridge where we are visiting the Paragraf manufacturing facilities where we'll be looking at the process of making the single atomic layer graphene wafers. We're going to be speaking to Tony and he's going to be walking us through why they make the graphene wafers at Paragraf and what exactly their purpose is. Introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about what you do here at Paragraf.
Certainly. My name's Tony Pierce. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Paragraf. And here in our facility here in Huntingdon in Cambridgeshire, what we're doing is pioneering the manufacturing of graphene-based electronics. So the facility that we're in here, in the room that we're in here right now, is where we are manufacturing the graphene layers directly on substrate. So graphene is a single atomic layer of carbon, one atom thick layer of carbon. And when you bring a material like carbon down to a single atomic layer, it has some exceptional properties. And most importantly for electronics, it's conductivity, which is, in material terms, it's electron mobility, how quickly electrons move across the surface of the material. And if we can incorporate graphene into electronics and into the chips that we're producing here, then those material properties translate into exceptional device performance. And that's what we're manufacturing here.
Fantastic. So where exactly do you fit into the whole engineering cycle? So yes, we know you make the graphene wafers, but where do you end? Where do you stop? What's your final, let's say your final product? Do you only stop at the wafer layer, or do you go further than that?
We have the ability to go through the full manufacturing cycle from bare substrate all the way through to the finished chip. So we take either a silicon or a sapphire substrate. We deposit the layers onto those substrates with graphene plus the other materials that are required to produce a chip, might be the metal contacts or passivation layers and so on. Then we are able to, in other parts of the clean room, we're able to singulate those devices into individual chips and then wire bond and package into a final device. So our end product is typically the packaged chip, which then goes on to our customers to be incorporated into their boards and devices and integrated into other larger systems down the line.
Fantastic. Well, you mentioned the exceptional properties of this single layer of graphene on top of your wafers. Can you elaborate a little bit on what some of these properties are and some use cases that we could have for the graphene layer on top of the wafer?
Yeah, I mean, when you hear about the graphene industry in general, there's lots of properties that are talked about, and it's used as an additive in concrete, for example, for its mechanical strength, or and in our case, the electrical performance, and in particular the conductivity, the electron mobility in the material is what materializes into exceptional device performance. So with most semiconductor materials like silicon or compound semiconductors like gallium arsenide or gallium nitride, being three-dimensional or having a lattice structure means that the electrons move through that lattice and they have a certain resistance to flow. And that's what creates the conductivity of a material. So with graphene or any two-dimensional material, there is no lattice. It's just a single atomic layer, which means the electrons move incredibly fast across the surface. Imagine something skimming across a frozen lake, right? So it's that conductivity and mobility that turns into device performance. Now, in our first devices, which, for example, the Hall effect sensor, a magnetic sensor which uses the Hall effect to detect magnetic fields, then that mobility translates into an incredible sensitivity of the sensor. So the sensor operates at a very high sensitivity level, but also has the ability to work at extreme environmental conditions. So take very low temperatures. Graphene will operate at millikelvin temperatures, almost absolute zero. And therefore, cryogenic applications like that, a great example at the moment is quantum computing.
Yes.
Where the devices and the systems there run at very low cryogenic temperatures. Graphene has a potential to contribute to that field by being able to still operate electrically at very low temperatures. Same thing's true of extreme environments like radiation hardness in space, because it's only a single atomic layer thick. Radiation will go straight through that material. It's impervious to that, which means that for space applications, graphene again is a chips made of that have the opportunity to work well at extreme environments. More recently, we have a molecular sensor product which is released to the market, which is really exciting because
A molecular sensor.
molecular sensing, yeah. So in this case, the device, rather than sensing a magnetic field, is sensing the change in conductivity, if you like, on the surface by being exposed to a particular chemical species or element. So from applications from sort of industrial gas sensing through to medical diagnostics, the ability to be able to detect a very low concentration of chemical on a surface in a liquid is incredibly valuable. And it might be something like a level of potassium in your blood for a health diagnostic, or it might be detecting PFAS in water samples, for example, another topic that's important today. Anything that requires a sensor which is incredibly sensitive, more sensitive than what's available in traditional materials, is where we're seeing applications for this electronic devices based on graphene.
Okay, thank you very much. So I have one last question for you now. That is, let's say I'm an engineer and I really like the concept of a very, very sensitive sensor, whether it be Hall effect, molecular sensor, or something that works in a very cold environment. How would I gain access to your chips? How easy it is? Where you've been distributing it, and how easily can I evaluate the performance of these products?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we were a spin-out company from the University of Cambridge 8 years ago. We're now, as you see, manufacturing at scale. And that means that our products, if you're a researcher interested in molecular sensing applications, or an industrial company that has sensing using other materials and want to evaluate how graphene can be utilized in your application, then these products are available now. So either via our web presence or directly in contact with us, we are able to supply either the bare chip if the customer is able to interface directly, or we have discovery kits and evaluation kits which enable customers to interface with our chips and then start their discovery and research using it. So it's important that we don't just provide just a bare chip on its own.
Yes.
But we support companies to take what is a cutting edge sort of technology that they've not seen before and help them to integrate that into their devices. So all of those range of options are available directly with us.